from Monongahela Rivers at Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, PA. Today, we're set for a good AFC matchup between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Let's go! Set 60 Pittsburgh. Focus, defense, focus. Check 31, check 31. Get it. Go.
First carry for the 2018 Pro Bowler, James Conner. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. Here's a 2nd and 7. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
Going with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen, he's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A big kick that time, 52 yards. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. A first carry for Leonard Fournette. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Leonard Fournette. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive. A shotgun give to Fournette. Tackle made that time by B.J. Hill.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
He'll drop to throw. He'll check this one off to Fournette. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On the draw, this is Fournette. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
They'll look to throw here, and he'll be stopped right at midfield. 11 yards there for Jacksonville and a 1st down as well.
Well, from their point of view, this game could not be starting out much better, could it? Force a punt on defense, and now they're moving it crisply on offense.
Crisply, I like that. Yeah, moving it very, very well. Looks like the defense on their heels a little bit. You put a score in here, long way to go, but you're right, that's a heck of a start.
Yeah, and I think this is where the play caller is looking at his play sheet and saying, to have that dagger play, to have that play and just finish them off right now, because I think they'd love to gain that big advantage early.
On the run, it's Fournette. And the stop here will come at the 38-yard line. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a 1st down.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
Back to throw here. He'll set up the screen to Fournette. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Okay, I'm not so great at math. I just looked over at our statistician, Marvin, and he signaled to me 5 for 5 to get things started here on this opening drive. Where I come from, that's pretty good.
That is pretty good. Now, what do you do defensively to adjust?
Well, this is where you've got to make a decision as a defensive coordinator. Do you really get after the quarterback?
And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. DJ Chark, his second touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. This crew, they were on a roll going into the bye week that they just had, Charles, so sort of picking up where they left off.
And you and I both know that when you come back off of an open week and you've been winning games, you should get a few extra days off in order to recharge and refuel. But coaches often hedge their bets, too. They'll bring them back and work them really hard that first practice back to make sure that they're back and grounded.
Whatever they did, formula looking good so far in this one. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves and not let them affect you in a negative way, that's what all the guys are looking for.
First carry of the game for Jalen Samuels. That's what they needed. It's an 8-yard gain, and now 3rd and 4 suddenly doesn't look so bad. And the Jags have 5 in the secondary here on 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. Taking it right down Broadway. And he brings this one back. A fumble return for a Jacksonville score. They give some kudos to the defensive coordinator, I think, here. They bring the blitz, they dial it up, and it turns into 6 points for them.
It's so nice to hear you actually give kudos to the defense. It is so nice. You're such an offensive guy like that. I love it. He dialed things up, and boy, a big play resulted for his guys.
Well, you like the credit to the defense there, right, my friend?
Yeah, do I ever?
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early.
Under pressure, and they got to him again. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. Call it a 3-yard gain, but they'll be forced into a 3rd and 15 coming up. They'll look to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
That's certainly playing down and distance very well by the defense, isn't it? Take whatever you want underneath, by all means.
Barry on to punt as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. A 46-yard punt, 4-yard return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. They've got things going their way early. 14-0 lead and the football. 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground. It's Leonard Fournette. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 10 yards there. Good enough for a Jags 1st down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Ready for the second quarter, and it's our visitors with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. 14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or two shy of the 40. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
We always talk about having to read defenses and how complicated that is. Well, this was an excellent read. Read the pressure and got rid of the football before it even got to him for a nice game.
And when they're blitzing like that, running back usually a good spot to go with the football?
Without a doubt, because he's right in your sight line or he's near you. So you're able to just get it to him easily. And once he gets in space, that's usually a good matchup for him. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Now left side on the swing pass. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Jags picking up the first down there, a gain of 12.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8. This defense against the run, by the way, they're not top 5, but they are top 10.
So what's your philosophy here? Do you try and run the ball against a team that's pretty good against the run? What if you're a pretty good running team? If so, you might want to go ahead and run it anyway because that's your strength.
Got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Jaguars. Josh Oliver, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Back to throw. He'll get this one to Switzer. And he's going to be brought down short of the first at about the 31-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. And he gets this away, angled for the sideline with a lot behind it. Wow. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And this carry not as productive. He's swallowed up at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
They'll try and run forward with Fournette. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
So a good run by Fournette. Now another 1st and 10. Looking to throw. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. The 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. In 2nd quarter, they're down big already. He's struggling as well. They've got to find something here. He's got to find something on this drive.
And sometimes you take on all that extra pressure on yourself, and maybe you have to disperse it a little bit. Lean on some other people, lean on your teammates, find someone who can take the pressure off and get the ball in their hands for a while.
Or this, if he doesn't, this is getting out of hand, or it could get worse. Call it a gain of 3, but not enough to move the sticks. It'll be 3rd and about a foot or 2. The offense on 3rd down tonight, not good. 0 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd in the nose of the football. They'll try and run for it with counter. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. They have the 1st down with that gain of 4 yards.
Well, that was big right there because they're in the bottom 5 in the league in converting on 3rd down. They needed that pickup in a big way.
There were 2 things they said they wanted to win in this game. One, the turnover battle, and the second, 3rd down conversions. So they got one there. 1:57 to go in this 1st half on EA Sports. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
And again, they stop him behind the line. That is read well for a 2nd straight play defensively. That's caught at the 25. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle's made at the Jaguars' 26. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Under pressure, and down he goes. They sack him back at the 36. That's number 4. Sack number 4. They had 4 last week, so he's been down on the ground a lot.
Partner, they say the eye in the sky does not lie, and that's indeed the case because they watched the game tape from the previous week, incorporated it into their own defensive scheme, and continued to get after this quarterback.
And now this defense will be searching for sack number 5. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Now the intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels, and it's 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. James Washington, his 5th touchdown now on the year, as they are now on the board here in the 1st half. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. You've got under a minute to go here until halftime. You got the good-sized lead. No need to do anything crazy.
No, there really is no need to do anything crazy. The smart play, go ahead and take your lead into the locker room and then try and add to it in the second half. But there's a part of me that looks at this and says, first half going my way, I have a little bit of a cushion. Let's go ahead and try and extend things. If you've got some good plays drawn up, you might want to think about them right here.
That's to his running back, Leonard Fournette. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. Now the Jags will use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. And that one will fall incomplete. Clock here now just under 30 seconds to go in this first half.
We've already seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
Well, they were in search of a short gain on third down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards. And they line up now for what will likely be the last play of the first half. And offensively, they'll take the timeout with 6 seconds left in the second quarter. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. The kick by Lambeau is good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Very short kick. This will be taken by one of the up men. So we reach half. And now due to apparent time constraints, we fast forward to the beginning. The second half. The Jaguars in possession of the lead, and they will get the football as we are underway in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now Fournette, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Let's go, deep, tighten up. Let's go, deep, tighten up.
They're going to look to throw. And he fires one that's intercepted. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Make it back-to-back weeks now with a pick-6 for him. He had one a week ago.
Talk about being in the groove, and what are the odds of what we're seeing right here? You don't see it happen very often. Listen, if you get a pick-6 in a season, it's been a big year, let alone back-to-back weeks. I'll tell you this, I wouldn't play cards against this guy in the locker room. This
is taken at his 4. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And fresh off the pick six, they've got to forget about that quickly.
In this case now, the guy throwing the ball, he's got to be like what we talked about with defensive backs who get beat for a long touchdown. Short-term memory, right back out there doing the things that he does best, and knowing that taking care of the ball is paramount. Here's his opportunity.
All comes back to those defensive backs for the former DB, right?
I don't know where that comes from. It just kind of emerges out of me for some reason.
It's deep in there, right? Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
Of all the routes that defenders would love to remove from offensive playbooks, I think the wheel route would rank near the top. And on that one, they almost had it, just weren't able to come down in bounds.
Yeah, as you see right there for the running back, it's tough as you're going toward that sideline trying to stay in bounds. He couldn't do it.
Yeah, just didn't have enough real estate, as they like to say.
An excellent pickup of 20 yards. Fournette running out of the gun. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. 8 yards the tally on that first down run. Here's 2nd and 2. Now back to throw. And a little floater there, but it'll wind up incomplete, falling to the ground. Great coverage there all around. Really didn't have many options to throw the football.
Very little chance that one was going to be completed. Every receiver was locked up.
And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 29-yard line.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
That one a pickup of 15 for Jacksonville. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. DJ Chark, the intended target, but it's going to be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Completes it to Lee. 11 yards for number 11.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you're wanting to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Back of the end zone. Could he get his feet down? No, it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away, maybe that's the way they should look at it.
Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. On third down, it's Connor. He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. That'll make it fourth down after a loss of 1.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Good open field tackling there. A 50-yard punt followed by just a 1-yard return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Leonard Fournette making his way back out there. On the other side, they've had trouble stopping him not only on the ground but through the air. He's hit the century mark running the ball. He's approaching that receiving it.
I'm starting to think, Brandon, we're going to have to start judging running backs by a little bit different standard. And we know the gold standard now is 1,000 yards running the football. But I think we've got to start looking at all-purpose yards, yards from scrimmage. That's probably a better measure of what you're getting from these backs because look at the game we're getting here. He's run it well. But overall, his damage has been done catching it.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see if that will continue. And just in general, Charles, on a play like that, how tough is it for the defense to account for a running back essentially being a receiver downfield?
It's very difficult, especially if the running back has skills like a receiver, and you're aware of that before the game even begins. So throughout your practice sessions, you're going to want to be aware of him. Where is he lining up? What can he do? What kind of damage can he do to us downfield? And who can match up with him without weakening our overall defense? You're exactly right. It's a tough task to match up to him.
Here's a run on first down that won't even get back to the line of scrimmage. He will lose a yard. 2nd and 11. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stop that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
2nd and 11. Throw left side complete. It's Lee. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down. The Steelers now in the nickel here on third down.
Let's go.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got the hook up to Lee. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Back now in Pittsburgh. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. They go back to the ground now with Fournette. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched.
And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. T.J. Watt make that now 8 sacks for him on the season.
Enough takes a start to have a good drive. Quite like a big loss on a sack, does it?
Now they're looking at a 3rd and long, and suddenly the momentum shifted to the other side of the football.
And old Mo is a very, very fickle man.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 33. He's played a great game. It continues right there, even with this lead, confident to throw the pass and have the reception made.
There's no doubt who the leader of their team is there? There's no doubt who they want to ride all the way to the finish, because strategy would tell you run the football, run the clock down. Instead, they're letting him throw it because they feel that confident in what he's getting done. These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Back to throw now on first down. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Josh Oliver with his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Jaguars are able to widen their lead. They had the lead in the 4th, but still passing. Finding the big target for the touchdown. Now that lead grows even more.
Everybody gets to join in the fun. You know, it doesn't have to just be the wide receivers catching touchdown passes. The tight end doesn't just have to do just the dirty work inside. He gets a chance to get into the end zone as well.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. He'll look to throw. Man open, that's Kiki QT, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. Pittsburgh getting 16 yards there and also a 1st down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. They go draw play. This is Samuels. He takes this for about 6 down inside the 40.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Second and 4. And yes, complete to the tight end McDonald. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. The Steelers on 3rd down. They've converted 3 times in 8 chances. This time they face a 3rd and 2. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Josh Allen in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And this is incomplete. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on 4th down. And the Jaguars are going to take possession here on the turnover on downs. Well, that's another mistake there on the drop pass on 4th, and we've seen them do things like this all game.
It's not hard to figure out why they're down by that deficit. They haven't made plays that are going to keep them in the game or win the game all game long. That's another example right there. It all boils down at the end of it to execution. Either you make the play or you don't.
Under 4 to go now as they come up on 2nd down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Got a man over the middle, and it's complete. A good pickup there, 22. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he'll get 3 down at the 34-yard line.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what happened. Has been a one-sided affair. So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 10 yards there, good enough for a Jags first down.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
Ready. 18 Gator. Double time. We got four. Hit it.
And they'll indeed take a knee. So first and second down went in the wrong direction. They'll try to do better here on 3rd and 13. A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted no matter.
In the pocket, no okay, I might pass the ball, but this is no game. Okay, all my girls, they love and hate me the same.